Here's a fun story that happened to me today. When I went to the fridge to get the soy milk to put in my coffee, I accidentally grabbed chicken stock. I'm a vegetarian, so I'm here, I have my soy milk coffee. My name is Lauren. I'm going to be doing a video today. You've seen the title, called Don't Even Get Me Started. I blatantly stole this idea from the Jenna and Julien podcast. If you haven't subscribed to them, they're basically the founding fathers of YouTube. Basically what they do is they put a list of topics in a cup, pick one at random, and then whichever one they get, they have to rant about. They ranted about like soup and renting houses and all different sorts of things, so go look at that video. But I'm going to be doing it with bookish things. It would be more fun if I had another person to rant with, but basically everyone around me is illiterate, so I have my mug of questions here. Chug life. Cheers. Let's just get going.
Don't even get me started!
The first topic I will be ranting about. Ooh, I dropped it. Dual perspectives when they're both in the first person. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. But dual perspectives. If I'm reading a book and I start the chapter and it has a character's name as the first chapter and it says, I went to the store, I did this, blah, blah, blah. And then I go to the next chapter and there's a different character's name, but it still says, I went to the beach, I ran down the path. Like, nah, forget it. I have honestly put down books because I was like, I cannot keep up with these two different perspectives if both people are called I. Why would you confuse your readers like that? Why would you do that? I like dual perspectives. I like multiple timelines, multiple perspectives, flipping back and forth. But if both of them are called I don't know who you're talking about. My God, just call them by their names, please. My brain has a limited number of brain cells. I don't have any brain cells to spare to figure out which of your 500 characters is running away from the bad guy. I just don't know anymore. I just don't understand why you would make your book less accessible to dumb people like me by doing that to different characters. And I know it's supposed to make you empathize with the characters more because if you're in the first person, there is less of a cognitive distance between the reader and the character. But honestly, I don't think it matters that much. Maybe I'm just stupid and I can't handle it, but that's my mini rant.
Don't even get me started.
What? Okay, next topic. They're stuck together. Cover changes in the middle of a series. Oh my god, is there anything that gets a reader more upset? Why are we doing this? There are times when you release a series and the original paperbacks that it's released in are super ugly. And that's tragic, but you know what? You made that decision and now you have to stick to it. You've committed. I don't want to buy the first book in a series and then they decide to do a whole reissue of them. And then I have to either buy books that don't match my first original book, or I have to buy all of the books new again, which would be wasteful because I already have the first books in their original edition and I don't want to do that and spend more money and contribute to this capitalist society. Just release all of the ugly paperbacks for me. And then you can go off and do a bunch of pretty new ones. Do a Harry Potter and have 500 different versions available, each of them individually tailored to each reader. That's fine, but just give me my original paperbacks so I don't have to keep switching back and forth between each individual book. Fans of the Diviners series are screaming right now because of all of this. Please, for the love of reading, just have one consistent design. Thank you.
Don't even get me started.
Loving a book. Okay. Loving a book and then the creator does or says something problematic. This is a whole discussion. Speaking of Harry Potter, don't even get me started on loving a book and then the author says or does something problematic. This is obviously part of a larger cultural discussion that we're having at the moment about whether it's okay to enjoy those pieces of art or if you should be boycotting them entirely. Obviously, it depends on what the person has done or said and it depends on the situation, but I still want to talk about how it sucks when something that a creator does years down the line can taint your perception and your feelings towards a particular piece of media. For me, and this is my personal feelings, I can't think about The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn without thinking about all of the controversies surrounding that author, and Harry Potter is less good now. I have less positive feelings towards it now that I've seen some of the things that the creator has been saying over the last, I don't know, since whenever Twitter came out. It just really taints the reading experience when you realize that something that you thought was excellent isn't actually infallible and without its issues. I wish that I could still read the Harry Potter books in a vacuum and just pretend that I didn't hear about any of the transphobic comments or other problematic stuff that J.K. Rowling has said, but we don't live in a vacuum, and those things do impact how I view those works. Also, reading things from a modern lens and realizing that there's a lot of fat phobia and other issues in older books that I didn't really realize at the time because those things were really accepted really sucks. I know that it's good to be aware of those things and it's important, but at the same time, it's sad. Chicken stock free. Okay. Ooh, okay. Don't even get me started on girls putting down other girls or the "I'm not like other girls" trope. That is so funny to me. It's just, we're over that. Come on, like, this was such a huge cultural phenomenon. It still is. Like, girls pretending to hate other girls because they just don't like the drama, and the people who are like, oh my god, boys are just so much easier to get along with. It's just ridiculous. Boys and girls both have drama. Have you ever met another human being? Oof. Overly poetic sex scenes.
Don't even get me started.
Don't even get me started on overly poetic sex scenes. These are those scenes that are like so full of metaphors and similes, like it doesn't make sense. Their movements are compared to like natural disasters or like natural phenomenons like earthquakes or hurricanes or just dumb stuff like that. Like, it just sets such unrealistic expectations. Yeah, I can't deal with that. Don't even get me started on love triangles. Except, and I wrote this here, on love triangles except the Infernal Devices series, because that love triangle works. It's literally the only one I've seen work. All three of them are fantastic. All three of them have great relationships with each other. That's wonderful. But in general, don't even get me started on love triangles. Cynical readers everywhere, welcome, welcome. Haters of YA, welcome, welcome. This is your time. Okay, so love triangles are in like every single YA book ever in 2012, 2013, 2014, and it was always a heterosexual girl with two heterosexual white men. Usually they're all white. And it's just boring. So it's this unassuming girl, and then there's one boy who they've grown up together and he's loved her his whole life. And then there's the new boy who is usually like some sort of bad boy and like shows her this other way of living and she has to choose, and the reader is supposed to like pick a side. I just think it's so weird and so bland. Like, there's never anything to spice it up. There is no flavor in a love triangle. You don't need a love triangle for your book. Just write some good character conflicts. That's it. Okay. I put this in here to torture myself. Caravelle by Stephanie Garber. If there's ever a book that I've hated, which I don't really hate books. If they're bad, I just find them funny and then I just don't read them anymore. But this book, I don't know why, it destroyed my soul and then became a Horcrux. I read it, I was like, that was very bland and I didn't enjoy it. But like, there's nothing for me to hate about it. As time went on, I hated it more and more. And then the second book came out called Legendary. I looked at it for a while and I said, there's no way I'm gonna read that. I didn't like the first book. And then for some dumb reason, I ended up reading it. And I didn't like that either. I really, really disliked that I put myself through that again. And then Finale came out and I was like,
no.
One day, some dumb part of me is going to read that book and I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. The plot is bad, the characters are bad, the premise is intriguing. Okay, don't get me wrong, there were some parts of the plot that were kind of interesting, like you did want to know where things went. It wasn't so much in edge of your seat, you want to know what's going to happen next. It's more of a, I'm watching The Vampire Diaries and I don't really care about the story or the characters at all, but I'm mildly interested in what the ending is going to be. So yeah, I just keep putting myself through this book again and again, and I don't know why, and somebody please help me. It's not good. All right.
Don't even get me started!
Audiobooks aren't reading. Don't even get me started on people that think that audiobooks aren't reading. They are. Just because the format is so much more accessible doesn't mean that it's not reading. There are a lot of people who, due to visual impairment or migraines or dyslexia or whatever reason, aren't able to read a physical book comfortably, and so audiobooks are a perfect solution for that. To say that audiobooks aren't reading isn't really considering all those people and that they might not actually be able to physically read a book. Besides that, listening to an audiobook actually takes more time than reading a physical book, so it's not like people are putting in less work. Yeah, I'm done with this one. I'm gonna do 2 more. Ugh, don't even get me started on editions of the same book that are different sizes. Oh my god. When you buy a pair of shoes, do you buy the same shoe in 2 different sizes? No. When you buy a stack of playing cards, do you buy a stack of playing cards where they're all different sizes? No. So tell me why you would have an edition of the book that is this tall and then another edition of the sequel which is this tall. Why? This doesn't make sense. Again, same with the cover changes. Why would you do this to readers? Imagine I have a shelf that is exactly this tall. I can't fit the rest of the series in there. What are you doing? Ah! The only thing that is changing sizes is the size of my frustration. I think this is gonna be my last one. This one just says 2008. The year 2008. I think I wrote this because I'm currently reading the Airhead series by Meg Cabot, which was written in 2008, 2009, like that era. And it's just full of like everything I've just talked about. The I'm not like other girls tropes, the love triangle, the looking back on things and realizing they're problematic. It's just everything. Plus, okay, I will say this. Fashion in 2008? What was that? So the main character in this series is a supermodel and she's picking out her outfit for her first day of school. And the outfit that she thinks is so rockin' is jeans with a frilly dress on top and pink cowboy boots. I cannot deal with 2008. So that's going away. Okay, those were all of my don't even
Get me started!
mini rants. Go check out Jenna and Julien's channel. I'm gonna link them, even though you probably know who they are and you're probably already subscribed. But I'd love to see other people doing this type of video, like these mini short rants. If that isn't already a thing, it might be a thing and I just never realized it. But let me know what topics you would have ranted about. Tell me all the little things that bug you about books. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.